Oh my god, you guys, today is the day. We are finally making a painting tutorial that my boyfriend is going to voice over. I'm super pumped. Let's jump right into it.
Real quick, I want to mention that this is inspired by Mackenzie-Childs' patterns and color palette, but it is not an exact replica of any of her work by any means. Alright, let's get started.
Hi guys, this is Steven, Daniela's boyfriend. I agreed to do a voiceover. By agreed, I mean I was forced and coerced into it. Just kidding. So she's going to start here by placing her blue tape in strips and using a spacer in between of just another piece of tape. Keeping the piece on top as an indicator for the spacing and where she needs it to be, roughly. And she's being sure to wrap the tape all the way around the sides of the canvas and the edges, because she's actually going to be painting over the sides too, all the way around the canvas, obviously. So she's running her fingers along the painter's tape just to make sure there's no air bubbles or anything underneath there to throw off the clean lines of the black acrylic paint. And she's just going to be going down the line and making sure to get all the edges and the corners around the canvas. And she's painting another one, and she's going to continue to do that for about 4 more spaces of white canvas, being careful not to get any black paint all over her beautiful flowers, which she already has. So she's going to have to let that dry a couple seconds before peeling off the tape, and as you can see, that's the effect you get when you make sure to press down the painter's tape, apparently. Nice clean lines. So she's just continuing to peel away and expose the lines there. So now she's starting by going over the acrylic paint just to cure the paint so there's no bleeding or spotting through when she does her vertical lines. So just running the blow dryer over it, and here she's starting with the vertical waves and just working her way downwards and then back up to get an even brush stroke. Yeah. And she's going to continue the process to create an optical illusion effect with the acrylic paint. And I'm out of stuff to say again already. And she's painting with the brush. And she's using a 3/4 inch flat brush and creating parallel lines all the way to the other side of the canvas. She's just going over it again there just to get a little bit of a thicker lay on the paint thing and canvas. Oh my goodness. So she's continuing that all the way to the end and making sure to get the edges of the canvas like we talked about before. She's going over that with the blow dryer now to cure the paint. So when she's done with the blow dryer and curing the acrylic paint, she is going to be taking a very fancy pair of scissors to cut out a heart stencil, being very careful not to cut her finger or run with the scissors because she's sitting down. So she's laying that over the lines that she created, the waves that are parallel to one another, with a 3/4 inch paintbrush that is flathead bristled. So she's aligning the heart on her canvas now to the position that she needs it and just gently outlining that carefully. And she's giving us a close-up there to show the effect, how it turned out. She's going to be going over the stenciled area with some white acrylic paint now with a smaller flat brush, and just being sure to go over it enough so it's thick enough and we can't see the black lines in the background, which may be a couple layers. And she's just going to continue to go over that and see we have 2 coats of white paint there, which is what I was trying to explain earlier. I didn't know there was going to be an awesome white little indicator. So she rinsed her brush now, and there's my head and my hand. She's going to be fine-tuning. Oh wow, I'm just all in this shot here. Fine-tuning the black lines with some more of the black acrylic paint. Apparently watching The Good Dinosaur in the background for some good inspiration here. A couple of long necks. And now she's going over... What are you doing? So she's going to be going over the white heart with some more, it seems to be pink acrylic paint. And just being sure to get a really clean line there, not to spill into the white background of the somewhat checkerboard. That's me in the background, if you were wondering, trying to fix her ring light because it spontaneously just broke the other day and stopped working. So I ended up taking the entire thing apart, trying to figure it out and get it to work. But it's in the trash now. So it's pretty obvious that she's painting over the white. I don't know if you guys noticed this time, she didn't actually hit it with the blow dryer. So it looks a little bit streakier there, and she's doing that on purpose to try to get a lighter effect.
Nope, it was an accident.
Shading. Oh, it was. Scratch that. That was all accidental. So she's going to go over that with the blow dryer now. For real this time. She means to do this. And then I believe she's going to go over that. Yes, over that same heart with another layer of the same color. And it's going to be a little bit more of an opaque color. She's adding some of the white into it to lighten it. And she's just throwing her second layer on there to even out the brush strokes. So she's continuing to go over the heart with the opaque color. No.
Yes.
With the pink color that's slightly opaque because she added some white to it. She's actually going to let this dry overnight and then continue to put another coat. No, she's not. She's making roses now. So the reason behind her letting that dry overnight is because she didn't actually want to blow dry it at that time. If you wanted to just continue the next step, you can hit it with the blow dryer right away and then go from there. Here she is creating what seems to be some white roses, but that's actually an opaque pink.
Pastel.
A pastel pink color, which really does appear to be white, but it's not. So to create this flower and rose effect, she's starting with a spiral in the middle and then throwing her petals around that and continuing the process throughout the entirety of the heart. So to continue the process, she's putting different technique and different design on some of the petals. As you can see, some of them come to a point and others are a little wavier. She's actually using a small round brush to get this effect. By adding more water to the paint, you can get a thinner effect on the lines if you're noticing that it's going to be too thick and getting a little too bold in some spots. So she's continuing this process throughout the bottom half of the heart now, starting with the spirals and continuing with some wavy petals and then throwing some thicker petals in there with stuff. And she's continuing to paint the lines for her petals along the outside of the border of the heart here. And just continuing to fill those in and touch in the plain spots. This is actually liquid gold leaf that she's using for the border of the heart. She's slightly out of focus, as she has boldly stated there for everyone to notice. Anyway, she's continuing the liquid gold leaf around the border of the heart. And using another flat brush just to get a nice uniform line. So it's important to note here that you cannot use the same brush that you used on your acrylic paint to use the liquid gold leaf like this, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to use some sort of acetone or alcohol to clean it, which is going to ruin the brush and the bristles. That being said, she's continuing to create the border with her liquid gold leaf. And she's continuing to use the liquid gold leaf, but actually flipped the brush and using the butt end of the brush to create polka dots. And it's important to note here that this needs to be, the canvas itself needs to be flat so the dots don't run down into the other spaces. Once it's dry, this is the final result. Bing, bang, boom, and you're done. We're out of here. Hope you like it. Check it out. It's a heart, polka dots, and it's awesome. I'm just kidding. This is really cool, though. So this is the final result here. Everything's dry and done.
Big shout out to my honey for helping me out, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace out.
Bye.